Prepare yourselves for a battle of epic proportions between two titans. Feast upon their voices and revel in their words. This is Dueling Ogres.
Hello, ogres, and welcome to episode 221. Thank you for joining us, as always, on this earwigging Thursday evening, Earth date, March 17th, the Lord's Day 2022. I'm your host, Remington Hitchcock, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Brandon Full. Top of the morning to you, Brandon.
You should say hello there, Remington. How you doing?
We don't all say I shy. You fucking daft bastard.
Does I shy mean anything?
No, it's probably some, like...
racist way to make fun of the Irish, or to make fun of Gaelic?
Yeah, probably. Because you don't say Cian, you say Sean.
Okay, so they heard Sean and they're like, oh dear, these Irish bastards.
Yeah. They spell it Cian, but they say it's Sean. Shy. Yeah, that's probably how it went.
Yeah, and we've been canceled from YouTube.
Yep. No. See, the Irish have a good sense of humor about them. They'll just laugh at us, buy us a drink, and then belt us. that's all the stereotypes altogether, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool. All right, so now we're canceled in Ireland.
Yeah, thank you. We wrapped them all in a big potato.
And then put that potato in the microwave like some heathens.
Man, my mom swears by microwave potatoes. She's like, have you bought these? They're at Aldi's. They're only $1.
It's just a russet.
Yeah, but it's wrapped in plastic and you can microwave it in the plastic and then you cut it out of the plastic and it's all steamy and delicious.
You can also buy a whole bag of potatoes and some saran wrap and just wrap those bitches yourself and pay like $1.50 less per potato.
Yeah. Is it really worth $1.50 less when you can just buy potatoes and microwave them directly?
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what though, doing them in the air fryer. I am an air fryer. What do they call those? Evangelist. Anymore.
Man, everybody I know has an air fryer and is talking about them.
Dude,
are they
dope.
really that great? Everybody,
yes.
It's like people who start yoga. It's the same thing, but with air fryers, where people are like, "Oh my god, you have to try it. My life is pre-air fryer and post-air fryer."
Just because I also do yoga doesn't mean you have to throw me under the bus like that.
If I tried to throw you under the bus, you just yoga roll out of the way.
Exactly. Yeah, I just contort myself and miss all of the axles and everything.
And dab out of the way of the bus.
Yeah, yeah. Shh. For those of you who can't see what is happening, I was dabbing poorly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so how the hell are you?
I'm good, man. I have been good.
Good.
I was sick last week for a couple of days. Didn't feel my best, but I'm right as rain now. I'm back to 100% Brandon.
Is that when you were pooping?
Maybe. I'm shy.
Did you have the poops? Listen,
Don't
Brandon.
talk about my poopies.
Everybody poops sometimes. It's fine.
Yeah. Why? Okay, so why is it not socially acceptable to talk about just having the diarrhea?
I don't know if it's... Well, I guess if you're out in public, I guess nobody wants to envision people having diarrhea. Like, nobody wants to imagine just somebody hunched over the toilet. You know? Nobody wants that.
Yeah. Some people want that.
Well, yeah, some people are gross. Human beings are gross.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, fetishes taught me that.
The fetishes you continuously go back to. The whole time you're like, you search your fetish, and then as you're watching the video, dick in hand, you're like, this is disgusting.
The worst.
I hate this.
I can't even. This is just the worst.
Why would they make this? Stroke, stroke, stroke.
Stroke, 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 stroke. For everybody listening at home, we're recording this one. I'm going to throw it up on YouTube so you can see all of the terrifying faces and inappropriate hand gestures I was doing during that as well. If you want,
yeah, if you feel so inclined. If you've ever wanted to see what Remington looks like, angrily jerking off,
confusedly jerking off.
But because we're only filmed from the chest up, he had to jerk off
up by my
really
face.
Close to his face. Yeah. Like either he has a giraffe for a penis or he's really stretching it.
It's a giraffe. Because that's what giraffes sound like, right? Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Besides that, I've been playing Elden Ring, which is fucking difficult. Was I playing it last time we recorded?
I don't think so. I don't know if it had come out because it's been a couple of weeks since we recorded. What is this game all about? It's fucking everywhere. What is it?
Have you played Dark Souls, or are you familiar with Dark Souls?
I have never played it, but I am familiar with it.
Okay, it's basically an open world Dark Souls.
Okay. And Dark Souls has a huge following to it, so that makes sense.
This is written by George R.R. Martin, so the story's pretty good.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I'm like 8 hours in. It's been out for 2 weeks. I'm not putting much time into it, but that's pretty much what I've been playing when I do play video games.
Nice.
My friend Cliff was showing me, and like I said, it's been out 2 weeks. He has 158 hours in it.
158 hours in 2 weeks?
Yes.
What the fuck? Cliff, come on, baby. You're killing yourself over here.
He works. So he works like 40 to 50 hours a week, and then in his off time, just fucking Elden Ring.
Well, I mean, as long as he's got his priorities, it's really all that matters.
Yeah, I'm not judging him at all.
No. If you have the time to have fun playing a video game, fuck it, do it.
Yeah. I
am envious of you, that's for sure.
You have plenty of time to play video games, you just don't do it.
It involves me, like, having to do something. I was playing a little bit of Halo there for a hot minute, and then I just haven't booted it back up.
I didn't know. Halo Infinite?
Yeah.
I have Halo Infinite. Why weren't we playing together?
I don't know. I do remember saying that I had been playing Halo Infinite. Yep.
No.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you, Brandon. I said I was playing the Halo Infinite. If you weren't listening, that's not my fault.
This has just evolved into accents and...
Yeah.
I don't know. How have you been?
I have been pretty okay. I just went to the doctor today. It was a yearly checkup thing. I got an x-ray of my foot.
Is there something wrong with your foot?
The back of my heel is swollen. Not like crazy swollen, like, oh my God, you have a fucking golf ball sticking out the back of your heel or a softball or whatever. It's just lightly swollen, but it's super uncomfortable. And I'm not sure if it's like, usually heel spurs are like on the bottom of your heel.
Mm-hmm.
But if I remember right, heel spurs are just like a collection of, crap, what's the word? I don't remember now.
Spurs.
Yeah, it's a collection of cowboy spurs that you accidentally slip into the skin of your feet.
Is it from Tiny Cowboys?
No, it's from tiny horses that once you eat them, the spurs that like are embedded in them, the horse disintegrates and then the spurs just fall down to your feet because gravity.
So these are poor scarred horses?
Poor mini scarred horses, yes.
Oh, okay. And you're eating them?
Well, yeah. I mean, what else are you going to do with them? They're scarred.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah. See? I mean, what, do you want them to live out the rest of their days in agony? God. All I'm saying is Dr. Kevorkian wasn't a bad guy.
Yeah, he had some good ideas. I don't know. I really think like if he's giving people at the end of their life assisted suicide, there's nothing wrong with that.
I feel like maybe as long as it's like the end of their life and they don't want to suffer, that's fair.
No, I was thinking like I go to Dr. Kevorkian. I'm like, look, buddy, let me lay it out.
I think that a true doctor would redirect you to somebody who could maybe help you with those feelings and emotions.
Like a prostitute?
No, like a suicide hotline or something.
A sexy suicide hotline?
No, a regular suicide hotline.
Hey, so what's your diagnosis?
Listen, okay, if anybody is having suicidal thoughts and tendencies, call 1-800-273-8255. That's the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. It's available 24 hours a day. This is my public service announcement for this podcast.
Good on you, Remington.
Oh, jeez. Now, if we're not going to get canceled for saying, making fun of the Irish, then we'll get canceled for that because people don't realize that jokes are jokes sometimes.
I don't agree.
You don't agree that jokes are jokes?
No, I don't agree why people would be angry over that. I wasn't downplaying the suicide hotline. I was suggesting a second suicide hotline.
That is more sexy. Yes, exactly.
Called the sexy suicide hotline.
Yeah. I mean, that would raise my mood for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and other things.
Oh,
penis jokes. Okay.
Yeah, I get it.
Let's get out of this hole that we're digging. Go ahead and give me a story, Brandon.
Which one do I want?
The one that starts with, did you hear the thing about the thing, Remington?
Remington, did you hear about the vampire squid?
I did not. Tell me about the vampire squid, Brandon.
Well, Remington, I will. The fossilized creature is about 12 centimeters long, with its 10 arms showing suckers and fins and a long torpedo-shaped body similar to modern squids. Oh, this is a fossil of a squid. I forgot to say that.
I was like, okay. Do you have a point about this squid that exists, clearly?
Sounds like a squid. I don't know what to tell you. This is a fossil of a squid, but the fossil's most remarkable feature might be its age. The specimen pushes back the fossil record for vampiropods by 82 million years.
Holy balls, that's a lot of years.
Is it?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, but
it's a whole lot longer than I'll ever live.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if we judge it by that, 52 is a long time.
My high cholesterol agrees with you.
That's fine. My blood pressure's through the roof. Every time I go to the doctor, my blood pressure is so high.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's in within acceptable range, but it's high for acceptable.
I think mine was 137/78 today. Or 131/78. Which is
the last time I went.
My systolic is a little high right there.
Yeah, the last time I went, I was 136/66.
Oh, yeah. So you had a high systolic and a lower diastolic.
I mean, I get anxiety when I go to the doctor, so that could have been it.
Yeah.
Because my heartbeat was also very fast.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
But anyway, Squid, Remington, 82 million years. How old is the Earth? Is it billions of years?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the scheme of things, 82 million years, when they think these squid have lived so long, it's nothing.
Still. Yeah, but what was the previous fossil record for what did they call them? Vampires?
Vampiropods.
Vampiropods, thank you.
Well, I assume if this fossil record pushes vampiropods by 82 million years, then the last fossil was 82 million years sooner.
After that, yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks for that.
Well, no, you asked what the previous record was. I'm saying that's what the previous record was.
I was looking for like the previous, like, what were vampiropods at before they found out that it got pushed back, like an actual number instead of me having to do the millions of maths.
82 million years.
No, that was 82. It pushed it back 82 million years. So that means it wasn't 82 million years. Or was it pushed back to 82 million?
It was pushed back 82 million years, not to 82 million.
Past the original fossil record, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then what was the original fossil record? That's what I'm asking.
82 million years forward.
You are not helping me at all. Okay, just say that you don't have that information and let's move on.
Researchers say they have found the oldest known relative of octopuses and vampire squids in a fossil dug up decades ago in Montana. So this fossil was dug up decades ago, and they just didn't do anything with it for a while.
They're just getting around to it now.
Yeah, they probably cataloged it and then put it with all their other fucking squid. You know?
Yeah.
Do you know how many fossils of squid there probably are?
No.
Scientists are just lousy with them. That's part of this. It's part of this article I forgot to read.
It just says scientists are lousy with squids to go through, squid fossils to go through. Yeah.
If you're wondering why it took them so long, it's because they just got squid coming out the wazoo. The official name of the newly discovered species is Calypsomopode bideni, named after President Joe Biden, in a nod to what the researchers say is his embrace of science.
Also because he's an 82 million year old fossil.
And a vampire.
And a vampire. I couldn't help myself. He's just so old looking. He might be old, really. I don't know how old he is. I'm not going to lie.
I think he's 96.
Really?
No.
I was going to say he looks good for a 96-year-old.
96 is like fucking bedridden.
Well, not if you're a healthy 96-year-old.
He's in his 70s, I think. Late 70s, maybe. Yeah.
I would look it up, but I don't care that much. Yeah,
me either. So there's somebody, Joe Biden is listening to our podcast right now, and he's like, those sons of bitches. Yeah. I'm 75.
Right down the middle. I tells you. I remember having a rotary phone.
I remember having a rotary phone. Does that mean, God, we are getting old? Okay, so here's why the story is interesting.
The kids listening are like, what the fuck's a rotary phone?
What the fuck's a phone?
What the fuck's a phone? Yeah, shit. I was just going to repeat you. This is dumb. I'm sorry.
They were twins questioning what a phone was. We were in character.
Yeah.
So this is a quote from Bruce Robison. Unless it's a typo in the story, his last name is Robison,
Not senior Robinson, scientist. But Robison. Okay.
Yes, a senior scientist at the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute, who I didn't read this part, who was not involved in this research. So why are they?
Why the fuck is this guy weighing in? Fuck this guy. Fuck you, Robinson, with your typoed name.
We'd had no ideas that animals of this configuration, of this shape and form, went back that far. What it is the discovery of a missing piece of the puzzle. Down in the deep ocean, there is so much yet to be discovered. Living creatures, things we haven't seen before, things we really don't understand. And while discoveries are continually being made in the fossil record, there's just as much and maybe more to learn from what's out there living now that we haven't found yet.
Thanks for that broad, vague description of the stuff that you had no hand in.
Damn, Bruce Robinson really rankled your fur.
I'm right there with you. I don't know what the hell they were asking this guy, like, if he didn't have anything to do with it.
They just picked the first scientist they saw. They're like, no, they're scientists.
You in the lab coat, get over here. Did you hear about this new fossil record?
The deep ocean exploration.
Sorry, I hit the mic.
Yeah, that's going to be good for the listeners.
I'll cut that part out for the listeners, but I'll leave the slapping in.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, so that's my story.
You know, I picked a story that also has difficult words to say, and it also has to do with fossils.
Well, shit.
So fuck it, let's take it back to the fossil record.
We're so good at this.
Right? This is coming from Ars Technica. The largest Aztec temple was decorated with over 100 starfish.
Like, recently?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. The offering dates just a few decades before the empire fell, so yeah, definitely not like recently.
Okay. So people weren't just putting starfish up on the walls? Is that what happened?
No. Well, I mean, They were, but, back in the day.
Okay.
Aztec priests of Tenochtitlan offered a whole galaxy of starfish to the war god Huitzilopochtli 700 years ago, along with a trove of other objects from the distant edges of the Aztec Empire. Archaeologists from Mexico's National Institute of Anthropology and History, or INA, recently unearthed the offering on the site of the Templo Mayor, the main temple in the Aztec capital of Tenochtitlan, in what is now Mexico City. The offering included 164 starfish from a species called Nidorella armata, known less formally as the chocolate chip starfish because it's mostly the color of cookie dough, but it has dark spots.
That sounds delicious.
I know, right? It shares the nickname with the other chocolate chip sea star, Protorester nodosus, or nodosus, Nodosus, which provides nodosus, which provides an excellent argument in favor of scientific names. Maybe I didn't read that altogether enough to make sense of that.
They probably asked another scientist that didn't know anything.
The chocolate chips.
So what do you want to name this, Bill? Chocolate chip. It looks like a chocolate.
Protorester nodosus. And then we'll call this other one that looks vaguely similar to it Nidorella armata, because why not?
Yeah.
Nidorella armata lives along the Pacific coastline from Mexico to South Peru, where it hangs out in shallow water reefs of rock and coral. For Tenochtitlan, the nearest source of chocolate chip starfish would have been nearly 300 kilometers away from the Aztec capital. And for those of you who use the Lord's measurements... I'm just fucking tickling myself, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Miles. That is over 186 miles away from the Aztec capital. Chunks of coral found in the same offering came from about the same distance away, but in roughly the opposite direction, the western end of the Gulf of Mexico. At the time, these items came from the farthest eastern and western edges of the Aztec Empire, places that the Aztec ruler Ahuizotl had only recently conquered.
The thing that people just listening are missing, so I'm gonna paint it for them.
Okay.
Is right before you hit every word that's confusing, your eyes go wide and your mouth opens just a little bit. You're like,
oh God. The funny thing is I went through this one because I wanted to say those out loud a few times to try and get them, and then I fucked around long enough that I completely forgot them all again. So
yeah.
Ahuizotl took the throne in 1486, and he jumped straight into two major projects, renovating the capital, including the Templo Mayor, and expanding the borders of his empire. His campaigns nearly doubled the size of the Aztec Empire, stretching Aztec rule west to the Pacific coast of Mexico and southeast to Guatemala. All that conquest meant that the Aztecs could easily bring starfish from the Pacific and the corals from the Gulf of Mexico, along with an assortment of marine shells, even pufferfish, to Tenochtitlan to lay out before their gods. So all of that conquering just for starfish. At least that's what Ars Technica seems to be alluding to here. I'm sure he did it for other reasons.
Yeah. Who is he?
So what do you think of that? Yeah, that's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, it gives me ideas. Hearing stories like this gives me ideas for D&D.
Yeah.
Like finding strange treasures from other lands brought to you in royal tombs. I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely interesting, the things that, the ancient people did for their gods, Just the weird collection of things. The bloodletting, the human sacrifices.
The starfish. Right up there, number 3, bloodletting.
Human sacrifice.
Starfish.
Starfish sacrifice. Yeah. If only they would have known, if they just would have cut them up, they could have made more starfish and given so many more to the gods.
I bet they knew that. You're just going to assume the Aztecs didn't know that?
I mean, they didn't know anything, obviously. They had aliens build their pyramids for them.
They believed in God.
Yeah.
You don't think one person was carrying a starfish and then tripped and fell on their dagger and cut the starfish in half and were like, well, I can't let this thing go to waste. I'll take the two halves and bring them to my God and maybe he'll enjoy them. And then the starfish grew back and he was like, okay, cool. You don't think that happened? Out of everything?
I guess
out of everything that's happened in the world, you don't think that happened?
Listen, I just watched a story about a guy who went on a 20-mile run because he wanted to show off to his friends and then tripped halfway into the run and in the fall disappeared into thin air, according to the friends who were following him. So
anything's possible at this point.
Yeah, he could have went to the fourth dimension where he would have died immediately.
Why?
Because you can't live in the fourth dimension.
Oh, everybody knows that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's okay. That's fine. I realized that you were looking for more there, and there just wasn't any to be had. So I get it.
Yeah, I feel like the third dimension is a bad neighborhood. The fourth dimension is probably pretty nice. The dimension we live in's not that great.
Yeah. I mean, height, width, length,
time.
Yeah. Well, that wouldn't be part of that's what makes up the third dimension, was because we can move this way, and this way, which was
I wish I had a time machine to go back
right,
and fix that mistake I just made.
It's okay. I can edit it out if you want me to. Do you want me to keep making you sound smart?
It's okay.
Conquistadors ruin everything. Back in the capital, Ahuizotl ordered the reconstruction of large parts of the city. His efforts included expanding the Templo Mayor, which in Aztec terms meant building a new, bigger outer layer over the top of the previous temple. The prior construction was often ritually killed before the new one could be consecrated. That's convenient for modern archaeologists who can date each layer of construction at the Temple Mayor. Well, this is all just extra stuff. Seashells for the war god. Yeah.
So the war god just really loved seashells?
Yeah, he loved the sea. That's it. That's it for that story. I didn't push the key for the story marker, but let's move on to a new one, okay? I'm feeling very exposed right now.
So a cracked stone in the small town of Nasu, located in the Tochigi Prefecture of Japan. According to local folklore, the volcanic rock called Seshoseki, meaning killing stone, held the evil... Okay, so these words are just as hard as the words you said. I would venture to say they're even more hard.
Okay. You can venture on.
According to local folklore, the volcanic rock called blah, 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 held the evil spirit of Tamamo no Mae, a nine-tailed fox who took the form of a beautiful woman. She became involved in a plot to overthrow Emperor Toba, who ruled from 1107 to 1123. A warrior by the name of Miura no Suke caught wind of the plan, however, and killed her before she could execute it. Upon her death, Tamamo no Mae's fleeing spirit became trapped inside the chunk of volcanic stone, which, according to the myth, kills anyone who touches it. The boulder became a registered historical landmark in 1957 and is referenced in several notable Japanese works, including Zen poet Matsuo Basho's The Narrow Road to the Deep North, a play, a novel, and an anime film.
Huh.
So it's called the Killing Stone, and rumored to kill anybody who touches it. Still stands to this day. Well, until almost this day, because it cracked open. Cracked in half.
Hopefully the spirit left the stone and now it's a benign killer.
So you're hoping it's still killing people?
No, I'm hoping that it's not benign. I'm hoping that it's become inert.
Okay.
You like that one better? That one works better.
Yeah, inert's better.
Yeah. Its killing capacity has become inert.
On March 5th, a photo of the broken killing stone shared by a Twitter user named Lillian was circulated on social media. In the Google translated tweet, Lillian described arriving at the site alone before noticing the rock was split in half and the rope was also detached. The visitor added, "I feel like I've seen something that shouldn't be seen."
I don't know. Like I said, maybe she just got tired of killing people who were touching the rock.
So you're Japanese, right?
Yeah.
In this scenario, you're Japanese.
Oh.
Yes. You are aware of the... You're just agreeing that, yes, you're Japanese.
Hi.
Clearly looking at you, you can tell that you have full 100% Japanese American descent.
Yep.
So you're walking through the small town of Nasu.
Mm-hmm.
You're familiar with the Killing Stone. Have you touched the Killing Stone at any point in your life?
Well, no, because I would die.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's a myth.
Yeah, but myths are born from truth.
Yeah, it's true there's a fucking rock there. That's their truth.
It's true that somebody might have been killed by that rock. The circumstances to which that person died are unknown, so we can only assume that he touched the rock and died. Therefore, I ain't gonna chance it.
Okay, so you have never touched this rock in your life. You don't know anybody who has.
Plus, it's become a national monument, and you don't want fingers all over a national monument because then it degrades over time, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
If I want to take a scientific explanation for not touching the rock.
Which you would, because you are a pedantic fuck, as I think I've called you many a time. So you come upon the Killing Stone, and the Killing Stone is cracked. What's your reaction? What do you do?
Well, it's the 21st century still, right?
Yeah, it's March 5th.
All right, cool. I pull out my phone and I take a fucking Instagram of it.
What do you say? What's the caption? OMG, LOL.
OMG, Killing Stone broken. I wonder if spirit has been released to kill again in the world freely. Hashtag myths and legends. Hashtag I don't want to die. Hashtag ad. And then I'd link my affiliate link down below.
Yeah. Hashtag cats of Instagram, just because you want to show up on more.
Yeah.
So that's that story. We're not digging into any of these stories, really. We're not putting our eagle claws into the flesh of any of these trout.
I feel like they're pretty simple stories. There's not a whole lot of meat to sink into.
I just assumed we would have more to talk about a fucking demon killing stone that's broken.
Well, I mean, you didn't really jump on the idea of the spirit being released or anything, so I mean, I tried.
Yeah, well, I assume that the spirit is going to jump into something else.
Well, that would be cool.
Kill again.
Yeah. Well, if there is a rash of murders that happen after this, then maybe we'll have something there to come back to.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
You said that, and in my head, I was getting ready to follow up with, not that we want that to happen, but hey, it's out there.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Jesus Christ. Speaking of dying, Brandon, hey, I've got a segue.
Perfect.
Did you hear that William Hurt passed away?
Yes, I think so. I don't know who William Hurt is, though.
You do. You just don't realize that you do.
My God. He
was the fellow who played General Ross in both the Hulk and the Affinity Wars and Marvel movies. He was the general.
Oh, okay.
So can you picture him now? Do you know him?
Sort of. Let me just look up a picture because I'm on the internet and the world is my oyster. What'd you say his name was? William Hurt?
William Hurt, yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know him.
Yeah. Sadly, he passed away. He had been diagnosed with prostate cancer in 2018 and lost his battle when it spread to his bones.
Jesus.
So he was 71.
Well, rest in peace, William Hurt. That's terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a hard thing, dealing with cancer in general. And then, I mean, it's become easier to deal with if you catch it early on, depending on what kind of cancer it is. But sometimes it just, once it spreads to the bone, there's not a whole lot you can do.
Why is that? Do you know?
Just because it's hard to get a full skeletal replacement, I guess.
That makes sense. Well, I didn't know if it like got into the marrow or something, and that was easier to go out into the bloodstream and et cetera, et cetera.
I think that has something to do with it. Yeah,
because you scoffed at me like I was an idiot.
No, I just wanted to say that a full skeletal replacement would be difficult because that was funny in my head.
Full skeletal replacement would also be a badass name for a punk band.
Oh yeah, full skeletal replacement. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Full Skeletal Replacement!
Down, down, down. What is this podcast, Remington?
I don't fucking know. It's almost like it hasn't been that long since we recorded.
It's been like 3 weeks. That's a while.
Yeah, it is, but not for us lately.
Yeah, that's true.
William Hurt was an award-winning actor whose work spanned decades. His work echoes over 40 years, and he has garnered plenty of respect even among those who hated him as Ross. That's how good of an actor the man is. He was able to convince everyone that he was this rotten figure in the first iterations of Marvel films and well into his promotions throughout the later MCU films. Hurt is and always will be one of the most prolific actors and one of the only actors who has been nominated for 3 consecutive years for the Academy Awards. He is on that list with Glenn Close, Meryl Streep, Jack Nicholson, and Al Pacino, just to name a few.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. He has also been in movies such as The Good Shepherd, Into the Wild, AI, Artificial Intelligence, The Village, Mr. Brooks, and Robin Hood, just to name a few of them. Hurt was a monumental actor that always brought such chilling performances, says this writer over on giantfreakingrobot.com. Hurt plays the psychotic alter ego Marshall. Oh, I skipped a sentence, sorry. One of our favorites is when he was paired with Kevin Costner and Mr. Brooks. Hurt plays the psychotic alter ego Marshall, who essentially tells Arthur Brooks to murder people. If you have not seen that film, it is highly recommended.
I have not.
I have not either, actually. It sounds like I actually wanted to see that when I saw trailers for it, but I never did.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can find it on Amazon or one of the
Netflix
streaming channels, though.
Yeah. One of the 8,000 streaming channels.
Mm-hmm. So that might be a good one to watch.
Yeah.
Your turn.
So speaking of death, though, Remington, what do you think happens right as you die? Do you think anything happens?
I like the idea that your life flashes before your eyes, and probably because it's some kind of ancient survival technique where all of or maybe even a stress marker where your body fires all of your synapses in your brain like at once, and that's why everything seems to like bring back all of the hidden memories that you don't even remember unless you're trying to remember them, sort of things.
But what if I told you you are absolutely right and it's backed up by science now? Does that make you feel good?
I always knew that I was right, but yeah. I always know that I'm right most days.
In the research published last week in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience, doctors took brain scans of an 87-year-old Canadian patient with epilepsy. The team was performing a test that detects electrical activity in the brain to learn more about what was happening during his seizures. The elderly man had an unexpected heart attack and died during the procedure, and in accordance with the patient's do not resuscitate status, the doctors did not attempt any further treatment and the man soon passed away. Because the EEG machine kept running, doctors got a glimpse into the man's brain activity at the end of his life. Such scans had never before been captured on a dying individual.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm reading this. I didn't cite my source because I forgot to write it down, so I apologize. But they're quoting from Gizmodo. But the original place the article was, I don't remember. So anyway, it's not my words that I'm reading right now.
That's really cool.
Roughly 30 seconds before and after the man's heart stopped beating, the scan showed increased activity in parts of the brain associated with memory recall, meditation, and dreaming. Different types of neural oscillations, also called brain waves, are involved in different brain functions. Researchers recorded both high-frequency gamma oscillations as well as slower-frequency theta, delta, alpha, and beta oscillations. Scientists say they were particularly intrigued by the presence of gamma waves, which suggests the man's brain may have been replaying memories from throughout his life.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so they actually have it. Now, the article, it wasn't in this article, but another article I read in prep to see if this was a good story, said that they can't really, because this is just a one-case thing, they can't say for sure that everybody's going to be like that. The man was epileptic, so it could have been something with his epileptic brain that, like, I don't want to say a normal brain would do, but a brain without epilepsy would do.
Right.
But they have tested this on rats, and it syncs up that rats do the same thing. So there is precedent in the animal kingdom for it.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, so if religion was more open to science and somebody who was religious heard this story and was like, okay, well, it's scientifically so far, how do you reconcile that with Christianity? We'll stick to Christianity as the religion since that's the one we both know.
I mean, I don't know if you have to. Like, because your life flashing before your eyes. Now, if in your final moments you believe that you talk to God, that could be a product of you believing in a higher power.
Right, yeah.
So your mind in its stress and is firing, and as it is firing off, it manifests God.
Mm.
But at that point, if it's manifested within your head, it's real.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there have been studies that whenever we recall memories, it's the same kind of brain synapses as actually perceiving things.
Mm-hmm.
Like memories to us are almost as real as actual reality is.
Yeah, it's like an artist putting down a psychedelic thing onto a piece of paper. I mean, they see it within their mind's eye. It's real there. And then if they have the ability to express that into an artistic medium, then
that poses an interesting philosophical question about what's real and what's not, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it kind of falls right in line with the cat in the box.
Yeah, Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah. Says, is the cat alive or dead? You never know, because if you open the box, then it's dead. So, but you don't know if it's alive or dead in said box.
Yeah, well, you could just shake the box, and if it goes meow, then it's still alive.
I mean, yeah, if you're allowed to shake the box, but then that defeats the thought experiment.
No, I think I defeated the thought experiment.
I think you did. I am shocked and appalled at your scientific method, sir.
I didn't say
How
shake
dare
it
you
hard.
Shake a box with a cat?
I didn't say shake it hard.
No, just enough to make it meow.
Yeah.
You monster.
Cats meow over fucking everything. Cats are constantly meowing.
I've got a fucking cat who's caterwauling next to me. So the 15-year-old cat that we got from our deceased past neighbor, Bob, has taken to just sitting in the doorway staring at her. And she's just like, fuck you, dude, get out of my room. And he's just like, I was here first. Just shut up.
So it's a very contentious relationship is what you're saying.
It is. Well, and that's just it. I mean, there are 7 other felines in this house. Even if she never leaves my room until the day that she passes, she needs to get used to the fact that there are other cats in here.
Yeah. Does she hiss at them or anything?
Yeah, she's at him right now.
No.
Mm-hmm. She's trying to tell him to fuck off, and he is not deterred.
So yeah, this story kind of blew my mind a little bit because it puts a lot of things into perspective, you know? I keep saying, you know, I've noticed that with all of the recordings that I do, I say, you know, a lot. So I apologize.
It's okay. Sometimes I try to cut it out if it doesn't add anything to it, but sometimes it works out. So
thumbs up from Remington.
Thumbs up for the you-knows. All right, Brandon, let's take it into a little bit of movie news.
All right. I have some movie news too, so
sweet.
We can scoot right along.
Let's see if we have the same movie news.
My God.
I bet I do. I bet you have this one. I'll go with the other one. So, Sonic 2, that's a thing that's happening.
Yeah, with Knuckles.
Yeah, with Knuckles. Played by Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Which was interesting.
Hollywood is so weird in the way that they get fixations on certain actors and put them in everything for like 8 to 10 years until they age out.
Yeah. And then I was sitting there watching the trailer, and Ben Schwartz probably played Sonic in the first one.
He did.
And I did not realize it, but I watched a lot of DuckTales, and DuckTales, or Ben was one of the triplets in DuckTales.
Yeah.
So as I was watching this, I was like, wait, is that, who was it? Dewey? I think it was Dewey. I think he played Dewey. I'm not sure now. Now I kind of want to know. DuckTales, woo. DuckTales. Every day they're out there making DuckTales, woo. This is just filler so I can do it, even though I probably can't put it out there because Ben Schwartz, Dewey. Man, I hit that right on the head.
Yeah, you did. You had a 1 in 3 chance and you rolled a 1.
A 20. I rolled a 20.
No, you rolled a 1 in 3.
No, I don't like those odds. I'm not familiar with a 3-sided dice, no matter how often Ethan rolls his. So returning as Dr. Robotnik is Jim Carrey. We also have Tails making an appearance, voiced by Colleen O'Shaughnessy, which is an Irish last name if I've ever heard one.
Right.
She has been doing the voice of Tails in the video games for a while now, as well as she played the voice of Jazz Fenton in Danny Phantom. That's what I knew her from most, what's this fucking word that I'm looking for?
Recently?
Most prominently in my brain.
There you go.
Most prominently. Yeah. That's the word that I was looking for. James Marsden returning as Tom, and a host of other people who I don't really know, to be honest. Shamar Moore. I know who Shamar Moore is, but I do not know Natasha Rothwell or Tika Sumpter or the host of other people that we have in this list.
That you're going to just continuously read.
Yes, that I'm just going to read for the rest of the podcast. Good luck, everybody else. What?
Thanks for listening. This is how we're going to play you out, is with Remington reading the entire cast of Sonic 2.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my... Okay. All right.
Hello,
what's your movie news,
Schwartz. Brandon? Kevin Feige on Sam Raimi directing Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Okay.
Which I didn't know. And I mean, I'm sure it's common knowledge at this point, but I didn't know Sam Raimi was directing the new Doctor Strange movie.
Yep.
Kevin Feige says, "We want it to be a Sam Raimi movie. We would give notes like, this action is cool. You're competing with Avengers and Spider-Man, no problem. But don't forget the Sam Raimi parts. You will see just how Sam Raimi it is in ways that will make fans of Evil Dead 2 very happy."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sam has a really specific kind of style to the way he films stuff, and we've talked about this before, but Marvel has their formula.
Right.
But they do let the directors put themselves into it if said directors feel like doing so.
Oh, absolutely. They do give... I mean, I don't know how much wiggle room I would say they actually give, but they give some.
Yeah, for sure. And especially if it's a director who's, has that feel, has their own style that really has blown people away in the past, Sam has this kind of, this B-rate quality that still just shines through as an A+ title.
Yeah.
It's so weird, and it's campy, but at the same time not horribly campy. Like, it's brilliantly campy in some places.
Yeah, I totally agree. Sam Raimi is a great director. I don't know how many things by him I've seen, So I guess maybe it's a little hypocritical to say he's a great director when I haven't seen that many things he's directed. But I saw Spider-Man. I've seen all the Evil Deads. I've seen Army of Darkness. So I feel like I know the general feeling that Sam Raimi brings to his directing.
Right, yeah. Darkman, he did Darkman. He was a writer on Darkman anyway.
Oh, I did like Darkman. Darkman was good.
Yeah, you could tell the parts that Sam helped to write on that one for sure.
Yeah. Sam Raimi enthusiastically jumped on board and said, "I have missed directing. It's really the only thing I know how to do. I couldn't be a stockbroker or a banker or a plumber, and I'm thrilled to be working with my old friend Kevin Feige."
That's a good voice for him, I think.
Why, thank you. I directed Army of Darkness.
I directed Army of Darkness. All right. I've got my last little bit of movie news.
Okay.
I had a stroke right there.
Yeah, it happens.
The Batman has already crossed the first major milestone, eclipsing the $500 million mark at the global box office.
Wow.
In the U.S., the film has brought in over $258.3 million, so it's half of that is just in the States alone, and then $247 million in international markets for a worldwide total of $505.8 million. The film is Warner Brothers' biggest hit since Joker in 2019 and has already every movie released by the what? Comicbook.com, not only are you lousy with ads, but you're lousy with writing sometimes. Or I'm lousy with reading, one of the two.
I was going to say we're lousy as podcasters because we don't read these articles before we come on to talk about them.
We want to come in as raw as possible, as raw and as dry as possible. Because that's the way Mother Nature intended.
I mean, I feel like maybe we would have more listeners if we were a little more prepared.
Well, I mean, do you want to be more prepared?
No.
All right, then. There's already every movie released by the studio in 2020 and 2021. Oh, okay. It's the biggest hits made. I guess it's made as much as all of them in 20 and 2021. Joker's domestic haul in the sights of the film, though, as the Joaquin Phoenix starring film brought in $335 million in the U.S., a figure that the Batman will have no trouble crossing in the coming weeks. We couldn't be more thrilled to see people all over the world enjoying the Batman in theaters, Warner Brothers Pictures chairman Toby Emmerich said in a statement. Matt Reeves has delivered an extraordinary film that manages to honor the legacy of this global cultural hero while taking moviegoers into an experience that feels fresh and original. We congratulate Matt, Dylan, Walter, Chantel, Robert, and Zoe, and the entire cast and crew on this wonderful benchmark. The Batman is already on its way to catching up to Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice and Joker, but has already surpassed Batman Begins and the Tim Burton Joel Schumacher films, unadjusted, that is. It seems entirely reasonable that the Batman will go on to outgross the likes of Man of Steel, Aquaman, and Suicide Squad at the domestic box office as well. The real challenge will be if it can catch 2017's Wonder Woman, which brought in an impressive $412 million in the U.S. alone.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. So I haven't heard. I think Bucky watched it and said it was really good, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the only person that I have heard of so far, or heard from so far, saying that it was good.
Wizard in the Wardrobe Keisha said that it was good as well.
Did she?
Yeah.
I was really kind of wanting to go see it, but. Man, seeing the Riddler not in like a ridiculous green outfit is kind of like I can deal with the early iteration of the Penguin not being the Penguin yet sort of deals, but I don't know, just not being in a ridiculous green outfit is throwing me for a loop. I love the idea of him just being like in a question mark, green and black suit.
Right.
Like, instead of having what looks to be a bag with goggles over his head. Like,
the Riddler loves his goggle bags.
Yeah. It's a riddle what I look like under this mask. It's like, no, just put on a green bowler and a green, what are those jackets called?
A blazer?
A blazer? Yeah, green blazer and green question mark slacks, and I don't know where I'm going with this. Just be more Riddler.
No, and I totally agree. I mean, we haven't seen the movie, so maybe he does at some point put on a green suit.
I certainly hope so. Bucky, I don't want you to confirm or deny that he does or does not indeed put on a green suit. I want you to leave it as a surprise for me.
Yes. Are you going to go see it?
No.
So I want it as a surprise until my end of days.
That's right. I don't want to ever know.
I want my gamma waves to fire, and the last thing I remember is the Jim Carrey Joker.
That's right. Well, maybe Batman, the animated series Joker.
Or Riddler.
Yeah, Riddler. Yeah, Jim's was all right in his own way.
He definitely Jim Carrey'd it up.
Yeah, there's definitely this. I liked the frenetic idea of him being, of course, that's what Jim brings to most any role, is this frenetic energy. Kind of like Robin Williams did. He always brought this frenetic energy to a role for the most part, but he knows how to play it serious. Like, there's a lot of the scenes from the Sonic trailer that he was playing an over-the-top character for sure, but a lot of it's just reserved, and just he's leaning on those little traits of like using the mask. He's sipping some tea in one scene, and he just sips it, and he wiggles his lips. So it's just subtle, but that big old mustache that Dr. Robotnik is known for just wiggles about. So
yeah, like your spider eyebrows.
Yeah, exactly. So are you going to go see it? Do you have any interest in seeing it?
Honestly, I don't have much interest in seeing it. I mean, if somebody brought it over or if it was streaming, I would probably throw it on. Mm-hmm. But one, I don't care that much about Batman. Two, it's a serial killer story, and I'm completely over serial killers and true crime. I was into it for a while, and I'm just over it. And three, the movie's like 3 hours fucking long.
And ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, exactly. I've got to lay in my bed and listen to Spotify.
Yeah, for sure. I feel that. Yeah. I got to sit here and watch Smosh on YouTube instead of editing our last D&D episodes.
Did you release episode 2 yet? Because I haven't seen it on there. And like a week ago, you said it was rendering.
Did I put it out?
No.
Shit, I don't remember. I'll check after.
Yeah, don't get distracted now.
No, don't let that ADHD take over. Yeah, that's right. All right, Brandon, what you got?
This is my last story.
Okay.
Amazon buys MGM for $8.5 billion.
Yeah, I saw this.
The storied, nearly century-old studio with more than 4,000 film titles, 17,000 TV episodes, 180 Academy Awards, and 100 Emmy Awards will complement Prime Video and Amazon Studios' work in delivering a diverse offering of entertainment choices to customers. That's from Amazon's press release about buying MGM.
Yeah. Sounds about right. Meanwhile, their factory workers or their warehouse workers are staging walkouts.
Yeah, and pissing in bags and stuff like that.
Yep.
$8.5 billion in the middle of everything going on. You're turning me. You see, because I thought this was kind of cool, and then you planted that little seed in my head, and it's growing into a big old acorn tree right there in the brain.
Yep. Amazon warehouses have a long history of not treating their employees very well. There was one point that they tried to have them not have their phones on the warehouse floor until like 3 people died in a tornado.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For a while there was complaints about the poor ventilation, so many of them installed air conditioning, central air units, and that sort of thing. Some of them had tried to limit water breaks just to keep people from having to go to the bathroom, I assume, would be the only reason to do that.
I'd be fucked. I couldn't do it. I pee all the time.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's a whole lot of problems with Amazon. But people keep buying it, so it is a juggernaut that is not easily taken down. So as long as, I mean, they haven't unionized, but there's an unofficial union that kind of gathers up and talks about these certain things and stages, the walkouts for certain reasons, the last 3 walkouts were in Chicago and 2 other places I don't remember, and they were looking to get their pay increased by $3 per hour.
Okay.
An extra $3 an hour. So
that would be nice.
I am 100% sorry that I stole the thunder out of your sails on this one.
That's okay. I didn't have much beyond just them buying it. That was kind of my ender story,
Well, I mean, it's so crazy to me, just buying up an entire studio like that. And I mean, was MGM in any kind of trouble? Or was it just an offer that they couldn't refuse,
I didn't know MGM was such a juggernaut.
Well, it was for the longest time. I don't know if I'd call it a juggernaut now, but
yeah,
they were for decades and decades in the movie industry.
I mean, they're a big enough juggernaut that they still sold for $8.5 billion.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Part of that, I imagine, was name, too.
Yeah, that's true.
But to be fair, I couldn't tell you the last MGM-produced movie that I've seen, so... Desolation of Smaug, the James Bond movies, the more recent ones with Daniel Craig, and probably the other ones as well. Legally Blonde, your favorite.
Oh, I love Legally Blonde.
I know. Of course, the older ones like Wizard of Oz, Singing in the Rain, those are the ones that come to mind when I think of MGM. 2001: A Space Odyssey, Tomb Raider, the new one, the newer one, the 2018 one.
Okay.
All right, so that's the end of that.
Yeah, wash our hands of it.
Yeah. MGM, it was nice knowing you.
Godspeed.
Godspeed, sir, madam, company.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I had a couple of other stories, but we'll just save them for next time. One was a little bit of a space news, and the other was science stories. So maybe I will remember those when when we get around to the next episode. If you have any questions or comments, or you'd like to hear yourself on air, you can call us at 978 DU-OGRES. That's 978-386-4737. You can also reach us on Twitter. Email us at duelingogres@gmail.com, or leave a nice comment on the Facebook page like these nice people. Brandon, go.
It's loading. 1 second.
Loading.
Okay, we had one comment on our last episode from Viscount Terry W. Irvin II, who said, episode's top quote, Brandon, going back to my favorite topic, which is myself, ... which stands. He also says, 0 personal interest in the Dungeons and Dragons musical. I can't be the only one who feels this way.
I mean, I don't know how invested I am in it.
I'd watch it. Like, if it was local, I would go and see a show of it.
Yeah, but you're not going to New York to see it.
No, I'm not flying to New York to see it.
And is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Did we have any for episode 219 that popped up?
I closed it already. God,
because I don't see you jumped the gun, because I don't think that there was any the last time that we talked about it. So, but there might be now. You're letting me down, Brandon.
We had 2 comments on episode 219. One was from a Carrie Clevenger who says pickled babies with an exclamation mark. And the other is also from the Viscount Terry W. Irvin II, who says Bucky is correct. You guys should see Spider-Man No Way Home. It comes out streaming soon, so I'm definitely going to watch it.
Mm-hmm. We also had a phone call.
Yes. Didn't you say we had 2 phone calls?
But yes, we had one from Jesse and one from Mumfrey999. Mumfrey is a thing. It's a whole mood. So are you ready for this?
I'm prepared for it. Yes.
No, you're not.
Hi, Dueling Ogres Helpline. This isn't as much a question as it is some running commentary. Just finished listening to your last episode, and I too used to have a frequent masturbation issue until I began coating my hands in hot glue and then thrusting them into small shards of glass. That tended to wean me off of the frequent masturbation. Also, another technique I used to use was I had conditioned myself to only be able to come when I was having eye-to-eye contact with someone else. And since I'm a very solitary being, that also seemed to cut down on it, although once I found a large mirror in my house, they solved that problem. Also, I tend to talk to myself dirty in a sort of a Batman voice, so kind of like this. And I also like to have sex with the lady folk, but it has to be a very specific order, as my fudge, and in order to bring myself to full completion. So hopefully a couple of those tips will help Remington with his frequent masturbation problem. Party on ogres.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Some good and some bad tips there.
Yeah, I'm not keen on shards of glass, but yeah.
I feel like it takes some confidence to look yourself dead in the eyes in the mirror while you masturbate, you know?
I can do that all day long.
I don't want to look at myself all hunched over and like...
I love myself, Brandon. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about that. We also had Jesse who called in over on the Source Material podcast on the Rattleage in Broadcasting Network.
And I am wearing, if you noticed...
I did, actually.
Kapow,
I'm a Jesse t-shirt.
Podcast t-shirt. I'm a Jesse.
Yes. Kapow, the pop cultured podcast, our podcast nemesis, who have far surpassed us in episode numbers because they got nothing better to do. That's where I'm going with that.
Yeah. Fuck 'em.
Yeah. But go listen to them if you want.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? It's Jesse. I just finished the most recent episode, and I thought to myself, I'd like to hear you guys talk a little bit about Magic the Gathering. I just recently started playing Magic again after maybe a 20-year long hiatus from collecting the cards and playing them. I started playing them online in Magic Arena. And I know Brandon has mentioned playing some, so you guys have any good Magic the Gathering stories? You guys are getting back into playing any of the game here recently? And just, feel free to chat amongst yourself. We'd love to hear a little bit of a discussion on it. So, always enjoy the content. You boys keep it up. Have a good one.
Well, that was a feel-good call.
Yeah. Thanks, Jesse.
Yeah.
It was a good follow-up.
No. So anyway, do you have anything about Magic the Gathering, Remington? I know you haven't played in forever.
Yeah, I haven't played in a long time. I don't intend to probably pick it up again, mostly because they've continued to try and keep the rules fresh and stuff, and just after Planeswalkers were really taken off, I lost all interest in that mechanic. And
yeah, you've said that before, that you're not interested in the Planeswalkers. The Planeswalkers, I wasn't on board with them either. At first, I was like, this is pretty cool. And then the more I saw them, the more I got sick of them because they're so overpowered. Yeah. A lot of times. But they've actually started to put in more ways to deal with Planeswalkers. So they're not as oppressive. They're not quite as oppressive as they once were anyway. I haven't played Magic Arena since Kamigawa Neon Dynasty came out, which is a pretty cool set if you haven't heard of it. It's based in the world of Kamigawa, which they did a set previously that was very heavily based on Japanese folklore. And now this set, I don't know exactly how far into the future it is, but it's pretty far into the future, and it's cyberpunk. So like there's neon lights everywhere, and there's samurai, and there's people with like vibro swords and shit. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, I don't know about that cyberpunk feel in something that has always struck me as fantasy, but then I think about it again, and I'm like, the Phyrexians were all like an amalgamation of like technology and evil goo, weren't they?
Yeah, and the Phyrexians are coming back. There's a planeswalker named Tamio, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Mm-hmm. Well, she has appeared in this new set, and she's like dripping with Phyrexian oil.
Ah, that's cool.
So it's a Phyrexian infested planeswalker, which is really neat.
Huh. I as far as like old stories, I always loved playing goblin decks, especially when you and me put our goblin decks together and we do like house rules. I always loved playing a burn deck in a group of you guys because I would just sit there amassing a hand and only playing cards when I had to, and then nobody would deal with me until like the end. And then they'd be like, all right, I'm going to hit you for 32 damage. And I'm just like, all right, I'm dead. Put whole hand in deck.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a way to deal with that, so bye. Or just like peppering the field with fireballs and scorching ray or scorching ray.
There was heat ray and scorching something.
It was scorching something. Scorching ray is a D&D spell, if I remember right.
Yeah, but I think it's also I don't know.
I'm sure it is. Fuck it.
Okay. I had an infinite combo deck that was based around a card. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a 0-drop artifact. It lets you sacrifice a land to gain 2 life. This is an old card, so you might have seen us play it before.
Yeah.
It's got a tree on it as the artwork, but I don't remember what it is. And then there's a card called Fast Bond, which is 1 green, and it lets you play as many lands from your hand as you want, but you take 1 damage for every land beyond the first that you play in a turn.
Yeah.
So you can drop it for 1 green and then take 3 damage and suddenly have 3 more forests on the board, and you're at 4 mana on turn 2.
Yeah.
And then the third card I played was 3 colorless, called Crucible of Worlds, 3 colorless for an artifact that says you can play lands from your graveyard.
Yeah.
So do you see the infinite combo there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Zurin Orb, by the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So you'd sacrifice your land, gain 2 life, play it for 1 life with Fast Bond, and then you create a loop where you can just say, all right, I'm going to sacrifice my lands, play them back again from my graveyard over and over, and I'm going to gain, and then you could just gain however much life you wanted.
Right.
You could say, I'm going to gain 100,000 life. I'm going to do this 100,000 times.
Yep.
And then I would play, hopefully this is interesting to listeners who like Magic the Gathering, but I know that Jesse will enjoy this, so you called in, Jesse, so this is for you.
This is what you get, baby.
Then I would play Channel, which is 2 green, pay X amount of life, gain X colorless mana. So now I have a way to use my mana, and then I would do Earthquake, which is 1 red and X, deal X damage to every creature and every player.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm at 100,000 life. I channel for 25,000 life, put that 25,000 life into Earthquake, and I effectively take 50,000 damage total, but I'm still at 50,000, and I just dealt 25,000 damage to everything on the board.
Yeah.
Every creature and player. So it got me targeted very quickly. Like people, I remember one game specifically, and you may have been there for that, Remington. I don't remember. It was when I lived on Quincy Street, but everybody just kept destroying my lands. So without lands, I was no threat. I had no creatures really in the deck. It was basically made to just draw this combo, gain a bunch of life, and then kill everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, they just kept destroying my life, killing my artifacts when I played them. It was the worst game of Magic I've ever played.
Yeah, I remember you being super bummed about that. If I remember correctly, you were just like, all right.
Yeah, I still ended up winning though.
See, I don't remember.
Yeah, because they let me either one or I spend enough damage to also kill myself and draw the game.
My favorite was always playing my goblin deck and then blowing everybody up. So I'd get there's a combination of goblins where like you sacrifice a goblin and deal 2 damage to everything on the board or 3 damage or something like that. And I'd get all of them out at just the right time, and then I'd drop that one and just blow everything up, including myself, because I didn't care.
And that's a total goblin move too.
Yep, it's a win in my book. If there's nobody left, then it's a win.
I know we've mentioned it before, but man, you really need to go through your cards. You have some expensive cards you're sitting on that you could sell for some money.
Well, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that for the cruise. What do you think I have that I could sell?
Well, your Rothalos, foil or not, sells for a pretty penny. A pretty penny. Yeah. And then I know you have... There's a land...
Llanowar Warrior or something like that?
Llanowar Emissary.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody's listening and wants to buy a foil Rothalos Llanowar Emissary, hit Remington up. He'll probably sell it below market.
Yeah. Or egregiously above market.
Last time I checked market, it was going for like $700.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's why I keep telling you need to look into it and maybe sell it.
Egregiously above. Buy it for $4K. I just want to see how desperate you get.
Yeah.
Give me your money. Well, does that wrap up the Magic talk then?
Yeah, I mean, I could tell stories all day, really, about decks I have and stuff. And maybe we could make it, maybe Brandon talks about Magic every so often.
Yeah, we could have a Magic talk. We could get Jesse on. You guys could talk about Magic.
Oh, yeah, I'd be down for that.
And so would Jesse. Jesse loves fucking podcasting, don't you, Jesse?
He does. God, he's on everything. I also remember I was at a con and I was playing with a friend of mine at the time, and he was doing some trading, and this guy had a ridiculous amount of cards. His parents were kind of well off, so he could order as much as he wanted or within reason. Mm-hmm. So he traded a bunch of cards and $200 and got a Black Lotus, which is, if you don't know Magic, the rarest, not necessarily rarest, but the most expensive card in Magic. It sells a lot of times for up to like 25,000, depending on whether it's graded and the quality of it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, $200 and some other stuff, and he got a Black Lotus. I would love to own one, but that's a like lottery purchase.
Right? Me. Yeah, for sure. That would be cool though, just to say that you had one.
Frame it and put it on the wall.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so let me shout out our lovely, illustrious, beautiful, wonderful, fantastic patrons. Thank you all so much for supporting us through our endeavors. Every last little dollar that you gives us brings us a tear of joy. So thank you, Jenny, Tonic, Tatiana, Mumfrey, the Diamond Man, Stephen Hines, Fat Tony, Heavy No More, Chad, and Bucky. I think that's all of them.
Yeah,
I've got a little scrolling thing down at the bottom, but I was reading faster than the scrolly thing was going, so I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anybody. So I kind of slowed myself down. But yes, thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. And if you have any questions, nope, I already did that part. Finally, be sure to leave us a 5-star review on iTunes or find us on YouTube where you can see us doing this one. iHeartRadio, Spotify, fucking Pandora, that place over on Google, the Hole in the Wall podcast app. We're there.
Yeah, you can get us.
If you pull up to the storm grate, peek down in there when it's pouring down the rain, you'll see the clown from It and us right beside him. Mm-hmm. We all float down here. So until next week, Ogres, keep your clubs blunt
and your tusks sharp.
Good night. That's not going to line up in the video.
Nope. I didn't think about people seeing us both go,
yep.
A good night.
A good night. We need I don't know. I don't know how to make that match up. No clue.
No, it's not going to happen.
Maybe if I do a 3, 2, 1. 3, good night. I have to put myself on some kind of delay. Oh, I know. Okay.
Good night.
Good night. Oh, that was too slow. I don't know. We don't have to figure that part out. I'll match it in post.
It's fine. It's all fine.
It's all Gucci.
So I really need to come over sometime with some Magic decks and we can play a couple games.
Yeah, I'm down if you don't mind going against my old ass fucking decks.
Yeah, I have some janky decks I could play, like older decks, because Magic now is just so fucking fast paced. It's insane.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, when you raised your hand like that, because it was dark and there was just a little bit of a blur because you were just kind of barely moving it. Yeah, something like that. And I thought somebody appeared beside you. And I pooped a little. And then I was like, oh, wait, it's his hand. Never mind.
Yeah. I do have my mask hanging.
Oh, yeah, you do, don't you? It's hard to see from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, was that from the con or something?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, it was $10. The guy said he found it and painted it. And he was just selling it for $10.
Well, hopefully it's not cursed. Hopefully it brings you good luck and fortune.
Yeah. Nothing bad ever happens to old Brandon.
No. I'm at least it wasn't the mask, you know.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't be Jim Carrey mask.
No, I'd be like depressed, creepy mask.
Well, what was the fucking guy's name for Mask 2?
Oh, Jamie Kennedy?
Jamie Kennedy. God.
Are you saying I'd be Jamie Kennedy? I don't want to be Jamie Kennedy.
Nobody wants to be Jamie Kennedy. Not even Jamie Kennedy wants to be Jamie Kennedy. Although Alan Cumming as Loki, he was pretty good. That whole movie was an atrocity, though.
Is that the one where the dog puts the mask on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the dog put the mask on, I think, in the original one, too, but...
Yeah, but just for a second, I think.
Yeah, it was just long enough to save the day.
And then you have Son of Mask, where the baby puts the mask on.
Mm-hmm. Which is also dumb.
Yeah, none of which I've seen. I've seen the first Mask, and that's it. I feel like I've seen what the mask has to offer.
Yeah, yeah.
I've read the comic. The comic's really good.
Revenge of the Mask 2 2019 by the ROTM channel. That's interesting. Looks like it's a little more rated R.
Ooh.
This is a fan film created by fans for fans to enjoy. This film is not associated with anything else that... whatever. I will send you this link. This looks pretty good.
Wait, yeah, send me the link.
It's like 40 minutes, but still. It's dropping in big heads.
I told you! I can't! My wife will kill me! I need another week! It's if a clan doesn't do extensions, darling!
All right, let me go ahead and stop the recording.
Okay.
Happens.
Yay!
So the recording has started. Ooh,
Yay.
that would be cool.
The recording started. Yay!
Yay! I can bring 2 of my friends.
How many for 3 tickets?
Ooh, I'll have to figure out how to do that. I forget how to do that. I have a plugin that's lower thirds that you can basically make up on the fly, but I don't remember how to do it.
I don't remember how to do her.
I don't remember. I'll fuck with that afterward and get a nice little setup going. Maybe. Eat the head off earwigging. That wouldn't be too bad. Earwigging is listening in on a private conversation, which is appropriate for a podcast.
Yeah. That one had some flavor to it. I've had a bologna sandwich and pills. So that's what it was a mix of.
Nice. Sounds great.
All right, I'm going to fill up my drink while you find a word, and then I'm good to go.
Sure.
For real, this time, I'm good.
All right. Guess I should probably get the script so I know what the fuck I'm saying. All right, let's fucking do this thing. I'm going to go ahead and start the intro video. Just don't talk through it, and we should be right as rain.
So I've muted myself, so it doesn't matter if I talk right now. I'm just moving.
Nope, you're not.
But I muted myself.
Nope, you didn't.
So I could say everything I want. Can you hear me still?
Yeah.
That's not good. I muted my microphone.
Nope.
I'm glad I did that. No, I muted my microphone, so I have to be coming through my headphone speaker. How do I change that? Fucking Discord. You son of a bitch. Check.
Okay, that's it. In fact, it even showed muted on the screen on your video. I'm a little fucking gray looking right there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Do I sound any different or about the same?
Yes, you sound better. Well,
okay, cool.
You sound less roomy.
Less roomy? Do I sound less roomy, Remington?
You sound less roomy, Brandon. I
right,
like how we both have
starting.
Very different. Oh, that's too bright. Very different robot voices because I can't do it the way you do it.
You can't do the robot voice.
I can do it, just not the same one.
I like yours because it's like falsetto-y a little bit.
Yeah. I can't sustain this. I start to cough. That's good outtakes. Good outtakes. I look tired. I'm gonna start doing makeup.
You should. A little guy liner.
Yeah, a little bit of guy liner. I just need some.
That's why I have big glasses.
Yeah.
And I just wash myself out with colored lighting.
Yeah.
I just can't see this complexion at all.
I need some concealer. Maybe a little blush. Bring out my cheekbones.
Yeah.
And then some guy liner to really accent my eyes.
Yeah. Maybe pluck your eyebrows a little bit.
Yeah. I trim them anyway. I got those fucking spider things going on as I get older.
You need to keep with those.
Why?
Embrace it. Just get big fucking spider eyebrows. Just like waggle them at people.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and play the video. Nope, I can't hear you. All right, cool.
All right.
Jesse from the My Brain Stopped Source Material podcast over on the fuck me.
Radulich Broadcasting Network.
Jesus Christ, yes.